One of the things that I found really interesting in the Dazzle Dry education was the mention of the consistency or the application of a medium versus a generous. So I wanted to really understand medium versus generous. Let's take a look at cleaning off the brush first. We're used to polish mentioning thin to win. Now, thin to win generally means that you would apply very, very thin. So you're almost squeegeeing on your polish so that you can pretty much see streaks in the first layer of color. And your color comes in the second layer of application. My interpretation of a medium consistency, let me just wipe this off real quick. So my interpretation of a medium consistency would then be leaving a little more on the brush, so you kind of have a little bit of a dollop on the tip of the brush, and you're not really floating it on, but you're not squeegeeing it on either. So you actually do get some color application in that first layer, but it's not complete full color coverage. You do still need that second layer of color to complete the color coverage. Then let's take a third finger to take a look at maybe what generous is. My interpretation of generous would be to actually leave almost a bead of polish at the end of the brush, and that's really hard to show sideways because it wants to drip sideways when I turn the brush. So let me turn it really quickly. See that drip? So if I hold it upside down then turn really quickly, see that guy? So then when you would apply that, it would literally be a generous application. So if this were to be the first layer, it would cover the whole nail in color. When Dazzle Dry calls for a generous application, it's actually in the second layer of color and in the top coat. So your generous application isn't floated on either. It's more just that you're getting enough color on there that it's a generous application. So you can still actually see the brush move. It's a generous application. Floating is when you can't see the brush move. Floating is when you barely have any contact with the surface. So floating is when the product is in contact with itself to move. A generous application is you're still using the brush to move the product, you just have more product on the nail. So I hope this kind of gives you an idea what they're talking about when it comes to using a medium or a generous application, at least with my interpretation.